When I was ready to make that move, the person was already ahead of me. Because while I was preparing my funds and setting up myself in place for it, which I knew was going to take me a lot of time, they had the funds, and therefore they went on to execute on my vision. You see what I'm saying? So baby, when life gets better, don't tell anyone. Because these people here, this world we live in, it's deadly. When your life is getting better, don't tell anyone. Oh boy, oh boy. You know what? This topic here, we need to talk about it, okay? You know, I've heard this saying, it's been a while, you know, when your elders, you know, they tell you, they give you warnings, rather. They give us a little word of encouragement, a little wisdom here and there. They will encourage us and tell us some things that they have learned over their experience, and we never took it into consideration until things started to click. Did that ever happen to you? Well, for me, I've heard this saying all the time. Be careful of the people who are around you. Those are the ones that you thought is with you, but they're not with you. So for me, I had to learn the hard way. But again, I had to learn that when my life has gotten better, it's time to just stay quiet. And that's just bottom line. First, let me just say, right? The reason why you have to stay quiet and don't let it out. Just let them observe you from a distance. Because let me tell you what happened with people. You see, people make conflict their lifestyle. And if they can drag you in anything to pull you in, to bring you in their misery, they will pull you into it. Sometimes those ones will create their delusional mind. They will create problems and try to drag you in it. Here's what I will say. Once you establish your boundaries with them and you isolate yourself away from them, you got to remain that way, okay? Because when your life's starting to get better, they will do anything, any means necessary to drag you back into it. But again, I want to say this to you because at the end of the day, right? When your life getting better, I want you to think about this. This could be like your career. This could be your YouTube channel. This could be your business, right? This could be you as a person, true personal development, working on yourself, becoming a better version of yourself, right? People, when you're starting to establish and to become better, remember, you're not in the drama anymore. You don't want to be in the negativity. You don't want to be in the toxicity. So what happened? As soon as you're trying to get better, or as soon as you're trying to start that business, your career, whatever that is, as long as it's on the positive side of it, they don't want to be a part of the process. Some, not all, but some. The ones who you thought that will be with you are the ones that they just need information so they can mix you up in the process, cause drama. But when you're in the process of becoming better or to start up whatever that is, they don't want to be a part of the process of that. In fact, they have no patience. And I'm going to give you a prime example of that. It's kind of like YouTube. In the starting process of your YouTube channel, you know, you're building, right? So you're in the startup stage. You may send them your video, and guess what? They will not watch your videos. 1, you don't have any views. 2, you're nobody to them. 3, you're boring. 4, you can't benefit me, or there's no benefit. There's no resource. So they don't really care. But here's the thing though. The minute your business or your YouTube channel or you as a person start to thrive, then guess what? They want to be up under you. They want to act all entitled. So you have to do yourself a favor, not them now. You got to dismiss yourself. You got to isolate yourself and assess and observe. Because truth be told, if they weren't part of your startup process, then why should they be in your thriving process or your thriving season or your abundance, right? Think about it. They had no patience in the startup one. So now that the reward come along, now you want to come and act like you're a part of it. So when life get better for you, don't tell anyone. Keep the same. Just keep the same. So here's what I'm trying to say. When life isn't going good for you, still hold your head up high. So that when it's starting to get better, you keep that consistent flow. Because they won't know the difference. See where I'm going with this? Because people will use you all the way through. They will use you. They will abuse you. They'll suck everything out of you. Until you're left with nothing. When you drop at the bottom, or when things aren't working out for you anymore, that's when you see they disappear. They won't be a part of it anymore. And the list goes on, but you got to be careful now. Listen, you have to set your boundaries. Because at the end of the day, they're going to show up once you're starting to be the person that you knew you would be. Right? But too bad that they didn't even trust the process of it. They didn't believe in you. None of that. So now they want to take ownership and they want to show up and they want to act like they know you and they want to tell this other person about you and they want to get all those hype off of you. But they weren't there. But here's what I want to tell you though. I don't want you to walk away from this video and feel some type of way. Here's what I will say to you. Do not have any grudges. Do not feel any type of way. Because let me tell you this. At the end of the day, you saw your vision. At the end of the day, you knew who you would be. See, they don't know your vision. While some will, some won't. So even if they're not a part of the startup process, don't hold any grudges. Leave them. It's okay. If they aren't worthy of certain things, then you have to make the decision on that. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you put in your work. At the end of the day, you made your short-term sacrifice for long-term goals, right? You made all of that decision to put in the work to make yourself become better. Should they be a part of it? That's where you create your boundaries, okay? And you take charge. Because they don't deserve. They weren't in the startup process. They didn't care. But still love them. Love them, pray for them. And pray to ask God to change them. Because let me tell you, when you do that, they're going to come back to you. And they will acknowledge. Some of them will know that whatever they did was wrong and they refuse. They will go to their grave with it and not come and tell you. But while some will, some won't. But just pray for them. Love them anyway. Just know how to set your boundaries. Set a parameter. Because they don't deserve it. See, for me, if life isn't going well, I won't carry that burden. And if life is going good, I'm going to maintain the same type of thing. Confusing you so you won't even know the difference. Sometimes we got to do some of that. Sometimes we got to learn to confuse them. Because yes, they want us to fail. the closest people around you. Let me give you a little story. I won't even call any name, but let me tell you, twice this happened to me. I sold my vision, okay? Sold my vision. I informed about an idea that I had. A year went into a couple of months, and guess what? When I was ready to make that move, the person was already ahead of me. Because while I was preparing my funds and setting up myself in place for it, which I knew was going to take me a lot of time, they had the funds, and therefore they went on to execute on my vision. You see what I'm saying? So baby, when life gets better, don't tell anyone. Because these people here, this world we live in, it's deadly. So I'm not just talking to talk. I'm telling you what I went through. Okay? Then I had another scenario. I wanted to purchase a certain thing. I don't want to, just in case of the person watching this video. And I talked about it. And I was supposed to make the move maybe like 2-3 months in. And within a month, that person went on to purchase. Yeah. So I know what I'm talking about. So I had to learn the hard way. Yes, my elders, they did warn me. They told me. They told me ahead of time. But guess what? It buried somewhere in the brains, right? And when it happened to me, that's when everything started to come back, started to memorize. And I said, you know what? This person did inform me about this, but I never listened. I did my own thing anyway. So, telling you, be careful of those who are around you. And when life get better for you, don't tell anyone. Keep it to yourself. Do you. Be you. You come first. You matter. You have one life to live. Therefore, live it to your full potential. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Signing out.